The year was 1989. Los Angeles shimmered under the neon glow of late-night billboards, but inside the sprawling walls of the world's most famous mansion, a singular silence ruled. Michael Joseph Jackson sat alone in his private study. A dim lamp flickered over stacks of handwritten lyrics, broken pencils, half-finished ideas, Polaroid photos, and a single manila folder labeled Neverland Phase 2. He stared at the folder for several long seconds. Outside, the world believed he was preparing another record-breaking album, another tour, another spectacle only the king of pop could deliver. But inside these walls, Michael wasn't rehearsing choreography. He was living a secret, one that only 3 people at NASA and 1 person in the Pentagon truly understood. Because Neverland was not merely a ranch, not a fantasy theme park, not a sanctuary. It was, and had always been, a code name. A project born inside a NASA black budget program. A project designed not to entertain but to transform the human body using electromagnetic resonance. Michael's breathing became shallow as he turned the page inside the folder. Charts, brainwave patterns, electromagnetic curves, and one sentence written in bold black ink. Target, human motor reconfiguration via rhythmic EM frequencies. Suddenly, the phone rang. The old rotary model NASA had insisted he keep. He picked it up. A monotone voice spoke. "Mr. Jackson, your transfer is confirmed. The aircraft leaves at dawn. Do not speak to anyone tonight." Michael closed his eyes. He knew the voice. He knew what transfer meant. And he knew, more than anything, that once he boarded that aircraft, the next phase of Project Neverland would begin. He just didn't know the cost yet. But he was about to. Project Neverland did not begin with Michael Jackson. It began in 1977, inside a cold laboratory deep within NASA's Jet Propulsion campus. Scientists there had discovered something startling. Human movement responds to low-frequency electromagnetic patterns the same way celestial bodies respond to gravitational pull. In other words, a body can dance through frequencies, not just through training. Michael Jackson was the perfect test subject. His body already responded to rhythm with unnatural precision. His mind processed patterns faster than normal. And he possessed something NASA rarely encountered: zero-latency motor reflex, a biological anomaly. In 1983, during preliminary tests, NASA engineers implanted a micro-EM resonance device into the heel of his stage shoes. Contrary to what tabloids claimed, those shoes didn't rely on hooks or stage pins. The true mechanism was invisible. It was frequency. When activated, the resonance shifted Michael's center of gravity, enabling the anti-gravity lean. The world couldn't explain it. NASA could, and Michael knew it. But the scientists wanted more. They wanted Phase 2, neurological mirroring, sending movement instructions directly into the brain. This meant one thing: Michael would be the first human to attempt synchronized resonance with extraterrestrial EM patterns recorded during lunar missions. They didn't tell him the full truth, not yet. Nevada desert, March 1990, a hidden base known only as Horizon 9. Michael Jackson stepped into a circular chamber with white walls, humming servers, and a single artifact: Lunar Module 7D. This module wasn't listed in NASA's Apollo archives. Its existence was part of a sealed report from Apollo 17, the final mission. The report mentioned something unusual: a pattern detected in the dark side of the moon. A low-frequency hum, not geological, not mechanical, biological. Scientists had stored the recording inside the module, and that recording would now be paired with Michael's neurological signature. A helmet was placed on Michael's head. Lights flickered. A tone began, and so low it felt like pressure instead of sound. Michael gasped. Monitors spiked. His brain waves synchronized with the lunar signal. Suddenly, the lights in the chamber flickered out. 3 seconds of complete darkness. When systems rebooted, engineers stared in horror at the screen. 2 brainwave signatures appeared. One was Michael's. The second, unknown, unmapped, non-human. Michael clutched his head and screamed, "Something touched me." When the session ended, he collapsed. Technicians noticed faint burns along his neck, spiral-shaped, glowing under ultraviolet light. The same pattern from the lunar recording, a spiral, a signal, a presence. And Phase 3 was silently marked as active. Michael returned to public life, but he wasn't the same. His movements sharpened. His balance became unnaturally perfect. During a 1992 tour rehearsal, witnesses saw him freeze mid-step, stare into empty air, and whisper, "They're analyzing your frequencies." His team assumed stress. NASA doctors said it was exhaustion. But Michael knew something else was happening. One night, a security camera caught him writing numbers on his bedroom mirror. 61.20 degrees north, 149.90 degrees west, a coordinate to Alaska, to a restricted NASA zone known as Horizon Point, the only location on U.S. soil where satellites showed unexplained dead zones. Later, a Polaroid photo appeared inside his desk. It showed a snowy field, a perfectly circular depression in the ice, a long shadow that looked like Michael's, and faint electromagnetic interference along the image edges. But Michael had never been to Alaska, at least not consciously. On the back of the photo was a handwritten line, Phase 4, awaiting. Michael stopped sleeping. He spoke of voices in the hum, of shapes inside the resonance, of something that isn't human but understands rhythm. Neverland Ranch staff heard him humming frequencies rather than songs, low, haunting tones no one recognized. One night, he said, "Neverland is not my creation. It's an invitation." The spiral-shaped burns on his neck began to reappear. NASA denied involvement, but the Pentagon didn't. June 25, 2009. The world learned Michael Jackson was gone, but at the exact same minute, Horizon 9 triggered an internal alert. Primary subject disconnected. Something inside NASA's classified system lost contact with him. 3 days later, FBI agents searching Neverland Ranch found a hidden drawer. Inside, a single audio tape, labeled, "Do not let them erase me." When played, it contained only a low hum, but a frequency analysis revealed embedded words. "If you can hear this, the link remains." At the end, a faint whisper, "Neverland isn't a dream, it's a doorway." The agent who heard it resigned that same night. A new satellite image was leaked from NOAA servers in February 2024. It showed a massive circular carving in Alaskan ice, perfectly symmetrical, radiating outward in spirals, form identical to Michael's iconic spin pose when traced digitally. The official report called it geothermal surface collapse, but independent analysts identified something else. The formation matched the lunar resonance pattern from 1972, the same pattern that merged with Michael Jackson's brainwaves, and the same pattern burned into his skin. A comment left anonymously under the leaked image said only, "Phase 5 begins when the world listens." Some researchers now claim the Neverland project didn't end in 2009. It paused. And in remote parts of Alaska, when the wind is strong enough, locals report hearing what sounds like a rhythm, a hum, a whisper, sometimes even a faint, impossible voice. "I'm still here." And if you listen closely, the resonance never stops, because legends die, but frequencies live forever. If this story made you question what really happened, subscribe. Michael Jackson wasn't just the king of pop. He was part of something far beyond music, a resonance that still echoes today.